This is question 8 from the 2010 exam. For this question, we need to write the initial tableau by using the two-phase method. Now, for the two-phase method, except from introducing slack variables, we also introduce artificial variables. And we introduce one artificial variable for each constraint that has the form greater than or equal to some constant. Or you can say that we add one artificial variable for each negative slack variable in our constraint. So our constraints now will be x plus 2y. Since we have the greater than or equal to inequality, we have minus s1, our slack variable, plus r1, the artificial variable that we add. And this is equal to 3. And the second one is 5x minus 6y minus again s2 plus r2, since again we have a greater than or equal to inequality, and this is equal to 4. We also know that x and y need to be greater than or equal to 0, and we also have that si and ri need to be greater than or equal to 0. So this is our constraints, and now we also have, for the two-phase method, a new objective function w, which is minus the sum of all the artificial variables. So it's going to be minus r1 plus r2. But we need to express this w in terms of the basic variables. So we're going to go to the constraints, and we're going to, let's name this 1 and this is 2. So from 1, we get that r1 is equal to 3 minus x minus 2y plus s1, and then r2 is 4 minus 5x plus 6y plus s2. So now we can actually input r1 and r2 in the objective function w and have it expressed with basic variables. So w will be minus r1 is 3 minus x minus 2y plus s1, and r2 is plus 4 minus 5x plus 6y plus s2. And now we do some calculations in between and simplify this. So we have 7 minus 6x plus 4y plus s1 plus s2. And this will be 6x minus 4y minus s1 minus s2 and minus 7. And when we input this in the tableau, we'll input it in the form w minus 6x plus 4y plus s1 plus s2 equals minus 7. So we can actually start doing our tableau now. We have x here, y, s1, s2, r1, and r2. So first we have our basic variables, then we put the slack variables, and then the artificial variables. So for the first constraint, we have the coefficient 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 0, and this is 3, as we can see from 1 here. And now for the second one, we have 5, minus 6, 0, minus 1, 0, 1, and 4. This is our coefficients, as we can see. Here the basic variables are r1 and r2 at this stage. And now we put z here and then w. So rz is this one. And with the two-phase method, we work on maximizing this as well. Don't forget that. So our phase 1 from the phase 2 method is to maximize this, but we only need the initial tableau, so we don't worry about that at this stage. So Z will be minus 12 and 13 because we input that same way as W, like this. So we have zeros for everything else. And now W is minus 6, 4, 1, 1, 0, 0, and minus 7. And we are done since we don't need to solve a simplex algorithm or that tableau. And that is it. That's our two-phase method.